This week on Ion 21, the Red and Blue Review is coming to you from the Bachman Auto Group.
Cat's got a new coach.
The Cart's got a new conference.
And I hope to get a new car. Gentlemen, start your engines. It's time for the Red and Blue Review. The Red and Blue Review is brought to you by Doug Jones Home Improvement Company, the Bachman Auto Group, Sam Swope, SWAT Team Pest Control, Joe's OK Bayou, PNC Bank, Allstate Ford Truck Sales, and the Ali Center.
I hope for many generations I hope for perpetuity this is where we land, because I think this is a perfect place for this university, and I think this conference is rock solid.
This is the perfect place for us this week on the Red and Blue Review. We welcome you to the Bachman Auto Group. Daryl, Howie, and I are going to be talking cats and cards. Now, usually on this show, Daryl of the Cats Balls begins by throwing Louisville under the bus. Mm-hmm. Good luck with that. This may be the greatest week in Louisville sports history.
Let's hear it. I might need a white flag this week.
Yeah,
they're going to the ACC. They're going to a BCS Bowl. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nothing.
It's been a heck of a week. Howie, you've been talking about it for the longest time. When would they find a conference home? They found a really good one.
They found a great one.
Yep.
And it's interesting to hear Tom Jurich talk about that, if he had to pick Big 12 or ACC,
Yep.
it would have been ACC a long time ago,
Yep.
because of the basketball, more winnable football, all 23 sports. I mean, just
proximity.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Perfect fit.
Good stuff. Well, the Red and Blue Review is coming to you from the Bachman Auto Group. And if you're in the market for a Chevy Silverado, you better hurry. The 2012s, the inventory is running low. The deals are here, but once they're gone, they're gone. Bachman Chevrolet on Bluegrass Parkway right here in Louisville. Well, let's get into it. Let's go right into the lightning round. Lightning round on the Red and Blue Review is brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, reminding you that one text or call could wreck it all. Now, normally, Kentucky hiring a football coach would be the big news of the day, but of course, Louisville slid in and knocked that off the headlines. But, Daryl, it is a big deal that the Cats have found a replacement for Joker Phillips only, 2 days after he officially left the position.
Absolutely. And you got to sit back and ask yourself, could Mitch Barnhart have done any better?
Probably not.
I'd say no.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people saying, you need John Gruden. Come on, get serious. That is as good a hire as you can make it. How he kept it secret, for the way he did, playing it so close to the vest, was pretty remarkable too. But that's a great hire, great family name, a lot of recruiting ties. Ohio into Florida. I mean, the press conference is coming up this Sunday to introduce him. And supposedly the story is that when they first made contact, that Mark Stoops blew Mitch away with his vision for what this program could be and should be.
Are we going to see Kentucky playing Oklahoma in football? The Stoops brothers going after each other. That is made for TV,
sure,
right there.
It absolutely is. If I'm Mark, I put that off a year or so. Give me a couple years, then we'll talk.
Recruit a little bit. Well, the big news on campus, not just the big man on campus, is the ACC. Louisville hoping for a good spot. The ACC called, and the Cards answered.
It's an important day for the University of Louisville family, for the University of Louisville community. The Atlantic Coast Conference is a conference that has a great tradition, a great history. It's a conference that it has a proud athletic tradition, but it's also a conference that's made up of truly outstanding academic schools.
And I think this opportunity coming forth for us, we couldn't ask for a better fit. We go into a conference that can accommodate all 23 of our sports. We don't have to find new homes for some sports, be affiliate members of others. It's a great opportunity for them.
On CardinalSports.com, we're making a list of all the great things that have happened to University of Louisville athletics. And, you think about Hickman and Denny Crum and the 1980 championship and 86 and Tom Jurich arriving. This tops them all. I mean, there's no other athletic event, save maybe the championships, that affect every degree program across the university, that affect the entire university. Admissions will go up, all this kind of thing. It is a huge, big deal for Louisville. I mean, it affects everything. What a remarkable day.
Howie, how much concern should Cardinal fans have about the stability of the ACC? Because one of the big stories that folks are following down in North Carolina is the fact that North Carolina and maybe Georgia Tech may bolt to the, the SEC.
Sure.
Are there concerns that even the ACC is not that stable?
Yeah, I think there's always going to be concerns. I mean, in this climate, you're going to lose teams. I mean, if you're not the Big Ten, you're going to lose teams because they've got that network. And once the SEC gets their network in, they'll be more stable from that standpoint. So from the ACC, they could lose teams. But interesting stuff, the kind of subtext to that conversation was we took Louisville because they've got other options, is what the ACC was saying. They know that if they lose other teams, UConn and Cincinnati are just sitting there waiting. They're sitting there on the shelf. So essentially they knew that the Big 12 was somewhere along the way going to act. They're not going after UConn or Cincinnati, so go ahead and take Louisville now.
Red and Blue coming from Bachman Auto Group this week. And if you're looking for a Chevrolet dealership in Louisville or Frankfort or Lexington, Bachman wants to make the difference in your life. All you have to do is go to their website, BachmanChevrolet.com. You can get information on service, parts, and financing. Bachman Chevrolet. Well, Ryan Harrell is back for the Cats as point guard, but he's not back yet as the starter.
Archie's our point guard, so I hope he's comfortable in that position. He's earned a position, and he's our point guard. Now, it doesn't mean he's our only point guard. Now we have 3 point guards, which is even better, really, than having 1 point guard. And you can put 2 on the court at one time, which is even better against zone, against pressing, so it's good for us. But he's learning the position and doing well and getting better game to game, so he's earned a spot.
Now, let's not take the short-term view, which is the Notre Dame loss, when you would say, excuse me, they had no point guards.
Yeah.
So you don't take that. Or you take the long-term picture, which is eventually this will pay off, and all you got to do is go to Calipari's very first team, John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, 2 point guards on the floor at the same time. Worked out really well. Ryan Harrell just back, obviously rusty. Team was blown away. They just lost their mind at South Bend, and it was not a good night. So you kind of push that one and say, in the long run, yes, having 2 people who can play point will help.
When this time last year, I was the guy who was saying Kentucky would struggle because I didn't think Marcus Teague would ever get it. Do you think he will progress the way, and I'm talking about not only Archie, but also Ryan, will they progress on the same track that you think Marcus did? Do they have what it takes to play the spot?
We will find out. Archie does. Ryan, there's still some about the illness, how much of it was the pressure of trying to play point for Calipari, that whole challenge to that he's just got to get tougher and grow up in that capacity. The good thing is, when we're 6 games into the season, that's how bad it looked. You've got a long way to go, a lot of improving. If you go back and look, John Wall, Marcus Teague, go look at their first 10 games. Turnover city, so it does take a while, and we just got to ride this thing out. It's hard to ask Cat fans to be patient, but you're going to have to ride this out till mid-January, early February. Then you start making some determinations.
While Louisville fans were writing out where they were going to spend their life in sports in a conference, a lot of people were saying that Louisville wouldn't go to the ACC because of academic concerns. Well, it turns out Louisville is one of them academic schools.
Well, when the academic profile of this university changes by the day, and that's a credit to Dr. Ramsey and to Sherling Williams and to the professors and the deans on this campus. Academics are very, very important to this, and I can just imagine what the young students that are now freshmen, when they're seniors, when they walk out with that degree from an institution like this, is going to look like, and that's really special. But I think it was easy to look at it and say it isn't a pipe dream because we do fit. From a financial standpoint and resources, we fit. From a facility standpoint, we fit with anybody in the country. From how our teams perform, we fit with anybody in the country. So I think we're a great asset for them also. They're a great asset for us, but I think we're a great asset for them.
And that's exactly right. The amazing thing about this, sports conference realignment, it's all about sports, all that kind of thing. Yeah. If you've got a degree from the University of Louisville today, your degree is worth more today than it was last week. Because now you're associated with Duke and Virginia. And I mean, I had somebody come up to me and they're like, hey, I was on scholarship at an ACC school. I mean, in Louisville used to be associated with East Carolina and Southern Miss and, a different kind of league.
Daryl, I think Howie just asked for a raise.
I think he did. Yeah, I think you're right.
We'll have a talk with that. I'll tell you what was nuts at the University of Kentucky is Alex Poythress, who, ironically, the better he plays, the more Cal yells at him. Well, after taking only 1 shot against Notre Dame, Cal may have not said much last night.
But I just saw Alex's father, and I said, I'm on him half the game, and he's playing better and better, but he's only 50% of the way there now. And his dad said that's why he came here. He wanted to be challenged, he wanted to be coached, he wanted to be pushed, and that's what my son needed.
You want to get pushed? play many more games like you played at South Bend. Then you'll find out being pushed. And we can branch off here a litlittle because there's been some concern with the fans that he picked up 2 fouls and Calipari set him the rest of the half, and they lost. And the last time he did that was in Maui against Connecticut with Terrence Jones. He sat him, and the team lost by an even bigger margin. So they're like, well, why don't you go ahead and play him? And you've got to understand the method to Calipari's madness. This is the 6th game of the year. If I sit Alex Poythress for the entire first half, he helplessly watches us go down and down and down. It will get drilled into his head. I cannot get 2 fouls or my team will lose. That's a lesson that will carry into March. You don't forget it the 6th game of the season. You could have stuck him out there. Maybe you pull it out, maybe you don't. The bigger lesson is I got to take care of myself. I cannot get in foul trouble.
Well, it's always a political concern when they start handing out conference affiliations, and a lot of folks speculated that because Connecticut is located close to ESPN, that Connecticut would get shoved by the All Sports Network in Louisville's place, but it turns out the Cards beat UConn again.
I never looked at it that UConn was going to be the big. They're a fine institution. They've done a lot of great things, but I think we are too. You know, I'll put our school up against anybody, anywhere, at any time, and I really believe that. And I think what we did is we went out and sold the University of Louisville. I didn't worry about UConn. I didn't worry about Cincinnati, South Florida, or whomever was mentioned. I worried about the University of Louisville. And I think if we spend our time focusing in on our assets and get that story out, then that's going to be the thing that these schools are looking for. These schools are going to be our peers, but most importantly, what the commissioner's looking for.
You know, for folks here in town, the Louisville fans, that kind of thing, they know what's going on at Louisville. They know just how good it is, all these 10 championships, 53 Big East titles since they got there. But folks outside Louisville don't necessarily know that. And so the prevailing wisdom was right when Maryland left, it was like, oh, they're just going to pick up UConn. And that was really the storyline for the first 6 days of this thing. And then as more people found out about Louisville and the message was really spread out there, I think it started to turn. And it's still surprising to me that, you know, a conference so dominated by ESPN would go against UConn and pick Louisville. It's absolutely remarkable, and it says a lot about the fan viewership in this city in terms of basketball and football. Just that it's not a big market, but they know just how many people watch sports here.
And it says a lot about what a big story this is, that we're halfway through Red and Blue, and we barely talked about Louisville winning the Big East football championship. But we'll get to that when we come back as we head to the break. Daryl's going to tell us about the Cat's Paws.
I do. I have a message for Cat's Paws subscribers and new subscribers. We pick up a lot of new subscriptions at Christmas time. You look at it and you say, well, I get 35 issues per year. No, you now get at least 70 issues per year. You see the screenshot that we have, magazine.catspaws.com. Digital issue we put out on the day it was announced that Mark Stoops was hired. So if you were a subscriber, you got an email straight to your inbox. Click here and you had a 10-page digital issue explaining all about the hiring way before the next issue goes to press. So it's no longer 35 per year, it's at least 70, and you can get registered by going to magazine.catspaws.com.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Yeah, I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes. Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Buying your next VW from Bachman Volkswagen will be a great experience. No games or gimmicks, competitive prices, and a huge inventory make #1 Bachman the place to get your Volkswagen. The all-new 2012 Jetta, an IHS top safety pick, is a great vehicle and fun to drive. Or get the sporty all-new 2012 Volkswagen Beetle. It's back and better than ever. Come to number 1 Bachman Volkswagen today to get your new Volkswagen before someone else does.
Bachman makes a difference.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes. Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Hold on.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Welcome back to the Red and Blue Review at Bachman Chevrolet, where we have great inventory and great prices during Chevy's Giving More. And now back to the Red and Blue Review.
Thank you, Teresa. Coming up in this segment, we'll talk about Touchdown Teddy, and we'll get Cal's take on the Cards going to the ACC. That in our Game Time storylines. Well, this Kentucky basketball team, at least going into the basketball game against Notre Dame, was a very efficient team, but you'd have a hard time convincing Cal of that right now.
When we figured out this team is going to be pretty good, right now, you know, and it's amazing. We're I think Dwayne or John, somebody told me, the 9th most efficient team in the country. Well, there's some inefficient teams in this country. We're the 3rd most efficient team on offense. Folks, we've been together 36 practices. There's 350 teams. So, as I'm saying to you, I'm not looking for us to be just a good basketball team. I want us to be special. And to be special, we're not close yet. We're okay. You know, we can win some games and beat some people, but that's not what this is about. This is about, when it's all said and done, were we the best version of what we could be as a team? Were individual players the best version of themselves? And were we having more fun than any team in the country? Now, the answer to all those right now is no, no, and no. We need that to be yes, yes, and yes. Then that's the team that keeps marching. Doesn't want the season to end.
Not only is the answer no, no, and no after last night at Notre Dame, wow, no, absolutely not. The fan base is in a bit of a panic. And to me, the interesting thing was it's going to be a growing situation with this group. And I'm watching this game unfold, and they're completely disheveled. Archie's just growing and throwing it anywhere. Nerlens is throwing at the rim, and I'm thinking, these superstar freshmen, I bet this is the first time in their life they've got their brains beat in. And this is how they're handling it the very first time. So This is a good lesson to learn that it's not as easy as it used to be. So teams are going to come in, you go into their place, they're going to lay it on you, and you better figure out how to handle adversity.
Well, Touchdown Teddy is now Tough Guy Teddy. Despite a broken wrist, a bum ankle, Teddy came from off the bench to lead the Cards to the Big East Conference Championship.
There is no question who our Wrangler 5-star player of the game is. Teddy Bridgewater, all broken wrist and gimpy ankle. 20 of 28, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, and more than anything else was just gallant and valiant.
what a remarkable game by Teddy Bridgewater. This is one of those legend-making games. When you look back at the history of Teddy Bridgewater, and I fully expect him to be a pro, they're going to look back at this game, to say, he went out there with a broken wrist and the ankle all beat up, and he had a bad hip and all this kind of thing, and he led him to the title. And I think it was people in the Big East knew about Teddy Bridgewater. I think the nation found out about Teddy Bridgewater last night. He was a national trending topic. Just the name Bridgewater was nationally trending on Twitter.
Well, Ryan Harrell doesn't have to be as good as, I don't know, Brandon Knight or Marcus Teague or John Wall, but Cal is expecting him to be the very best Ryan Harrell he can be.
I've told him all the same thing. It's all how you want to look at things. But he shouldn't be. He's not expected to be those guys. Nerlens isn't expected to be Anthony, nor was he expected to be Marcus Camby. I coach them all to play to their strengths and try to help them be the best version of themselves. So that's never talked about within. Now, maybe sometimes you think of that yourself, but that's not what we teach or what we want.
I think that's one of the challenges Calipari has every year. Is you come into a program like this with national championships, you're bound to, as a player, compare yourself to the person ahead of you, and you just got to get past that. It's a tough thing to get through, but eventually they do.
Well, any college athletic director is trying to hire a football coach, and if he's not having a conversation with Charlie Strong, he's not doing his job, because Charlie Strong proved this year that his coaching credentials are getting even stronger.
See why Charlie Strong's a hot commodity.
No question.
His first year at Louisville, he goes 7-6. He's conference coach of the year. Last year, they win a share of the conference title. This year, looks like they're going to win the conference title, play in a BCS bowl game. One of the best defensive minds, one of the best recruiters in the country. I mean, this guy's big time.
He is absolutely big time, and I go back to what Tom Jurich says all the time. He'd rather have a coach that everybody wants than a coach that nobody wants. So I'm sure that there are going to be people out there who are going to come after Charlie Strong over the next month. It sounds like Auburn didn't. They just wanted it out there that they did. But other schools will. And, I think what Louisville said in the past is, hey, we'll match money for money, and now they can match conference for conference with just about anybody.
Red and Blue Review coming to you this week from Bachman Auto Group. We're at Bachman Chevrolet right now, and if you're in the market for a Chevrolet, this is the place you need to be, because Bachman was in 2010 recognized as the Dealer of the Year, one of the top 50 dealers in the entire country. Bachman takes pride in being the #1 Chevrolet dealer in Kentucky, so if you're looking for used cars, trucks, and SUV, you name it, you need to come to Bachman Chevrolet. Well, Kentucky basketball considers itself in a program of its own league, if you will, with Duke and North Carolina, and now Louisville's in a league of its own with Duke and North Carolina.
Well, I think it's good for them. It's good for them. I mean, I think the alignment, everybody that laughed at me 3 years ago when I told you where this was going, it's kind of playing out that way, and they're not left out. They were left out. Everybody was taking a chair except them. They must have bumped somebody and they took a chair.
For all of us on the outside, if you don't get your act together, you're going to be sitting out in the cold, and they weren't.
All right, coming up, we're going to introduce you to a lady who grew up with basketball icons that you've heard about. As we head to the break, Howie's going to tell you everything you want to know about Cardinal sports.
Absolutely. CardinalSports.com is your source for all the post-game video and reaction after that big win over Rutgers. We've got a video on there that you have to see. It's Sean Watson and Teddy Bridgewater hugging in the hallway after the game and just tears flowing. You can tell just how much it means to them. CardinalSports.com.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Yeah, I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes. Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Hold on.
Buying your next VW from Bachman Volkswagen will be a great experience. No games or gimmicks, competitive prices, and a huge inventory make number one Bachman the place to get your Volkswagen. The all-new 2012 Jetta, an IHS top safety pick, is a great vehicle and fun to drive. Or get the sporty all-new 2012 Volkswagen Beetle. It's back and better than ever. Come to number one Bachman Volkswagen today to get your new Volkswagen before someone else does.
Bachman makes a difference.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
Just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes. Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Hold on.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Welcome back to the Red and Blue Review. We're here at the Bachman Auto Group, and we're joined here by a lady that you have seen most of your life doing the commercials for the Bachman Auto Group. And what we probably didn't know, Teresa Bachman, was your family is a big part of the tradition of UK basketball. Teresa's dad, Joe Holland, was an all-SEC basketball player at Kentucky. He was on the first national championship team in 1948. Did your dad realize that they were starting the Kentucky basketball tradition all those years ago?
I don't think they realized that, but he definitely realized, and all the players knew that they had something unique and special. And throughout the years, then obviously it was shown that they were a great team.
Teresa, what does it mean to you to know that your dad is linked to the greatest basketball tradition in history?
It's interesting when I go to a game and they have the old video up there. I cry almost every time. It's really special and really different than anything. And obviously, I didn't do anything, but I'm proud that he did. And it's just a very special thing.
Well, it's a great basketball tradition, and we're thankful that you gave us the opportunity to come in here in Bachman and share the morning. Everybody was so gracious to us. Even Howie liked it here.
Yeah.
Big Cardinal guy.
Louisville fans here, absolutely.
Well, we're big Louisville supporters too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just that the blood is blue.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us here from Bachman. When we come back on the weekend, we're going to have a chance to talk with a brand new UK football coach. That's next time on the Red and Blue Review.